connected.
Thumbs
Channel
up.
switched.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hello.
Tim, the server's yesterday's task.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't see Cafe Cream yet.
No, maybe we should wait for it.
Well, it's up, and it's the wrong task. Oh, Cafe Cream, yeah, agreed. I'm sure you'd really like to do yesterday's task again.
Yeah, actually, I would, but
Really, I was teasing you. We lost a lot of people yesterday out of that. Had some really great flyers that let the rest of us place pretty well.
yeah.
Was it that difficult yesterday?
Well, I think you needed patience and maybe a little bit
User
of
joined
luck.
your channel.
Ah, okay. So Cafe Cream is online.
So everybody agreed to join Cafe Cream.
Yeah, Slovenia. We can do Slovenia.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'll go with that. If you guys are going.
Okay, I can do it.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, folks.
Hi,
Hi,
Mark.
Mark.
Hi, Mark.
You better get on fast, though, because it will fill. Well, once people figure out Cafe Tchin Tchin has a problem.
Oops, I just arrived late and haven't joined anything yet. Well, what's up with Tchin Tchin?
It's the same as yesterday. We're going to Cafe Cream.
I didn't get a chance to fly yesterday. What was the problem then?
Well, we just flew it already. So you might want to do it.
Sorry, it's the exact same task. Gotcha. No, I'll go wherever the crowd is because I'm a lemming like that. Where are you going? Cafe Cream?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah, Cafe Cream looks pretty good.
Yeah, but watch out, it's open class.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Why are you not on the Tchin Tchin?
Because it's the task. It's yesterday's task.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
That was an okay task. I felt like I could do it again, but, this is something new here.
I see the maximum ground speed at start is 200 kph.
Oh, thanks.
How much join time is left?
17 minutes.
Plenty. Thank you.
We're really fortunate they didn't do some wacky landscape today. They really like to do that.
And there are some penalty zones.
a mid-air collision is going to cost you 10 points.
Yeah, 200 points for height recovery.
Yeah, you don't want to push that button twice in panic.
I will, Mike. Thank you.
Too bad I have jumping planes again on the Cafe Cream server. I tried the Tchin Tchin server to see if it's also on this server. So
Didn't it settle down after a while? Last time? I think
No.
it settled down. No?
no,
Oh, yeah.
the last time I got kicked off the server, and then my internet
Oh.
connection completely broke down.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Hi, Sean. Thank you. So good luck tour from Mike. He's watching today.
Hi, Mike. Hope you feel better soon, mate.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi. Yeah, one brave guy with a JS1.
Oh, arrow toe. All of our, you can see all our Tchin Tchin friends are coming. It'll be interesting to see how the stemma does.
Yeah.
I'm right behind him in the line here.
Somebody with a discus too.
I wish it was all classes. I like they bumped up the wing loading to 55.
I think they're going to have to at some point because the minimum wing loading for the AS-33 is above 50, right?
Exactly.
It's interesting, the LX doesn't show this as an airport. Closest airport's like 24 km away, according to this thing.
Okay, that's strange. On Tchin Tchin server, everything works fine, and after I joined the Cafe and Cream server, all planes are freezing and jumping around.
Yeah, that is very strange.
Yeah, some weird specific route between you and the Tchin Tchin server that routing is not a problem here. Interesting.
Oh, it's the problem it's here for, not a Tchin Tchin.
Yeah, right. On Cafe Cream, it's terrible, and on Tchin Tchin servers, everything is good.
Where is
Really?
Tchin Tchin hosted? Somewhere in France?
I
Same as
think
Cafe
yes.
Cream?
Yeah, I guess so.
You already got dropped by the server once, right?
Yeah, right.
It's strange because when I look at the pings, everybody has very low pings. Even better,
Yeah, that's true.
even better than Tchin Tchin.
Yeah, I see some like 30 and 40 second pings, which is really weird for me because I'm in the US. Hey, I don't know if it got discussed on this channel, but did you guys all see the forum posting about bug rendering on the AS3315 is off? Like that flight the other day that we thought had extraordinarily high bugs, given that it was low setting.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It's actually just a rendering bug on the plane itself.
Yeah, Vic told about it yesterday. It's fixed.
The size of the texture was wrong, and the width, one direction was off.
Yeah, because I, with Track IR, I looked out at the wing and zoomed in on one, and it was clearly just a weird rendering thing. But people were freaking out about it on the US soaring thing, like wondering if it affected the flight performance as well, or if it was just a rendering error.
Yeah, just rendering.
Yeah, that's exactly what I figured. But we weren't imagining it the other day when we thought the bugs looked spectacularly buggy relative to the settings.
Yeah, so I will leave. I wish you all a nice flight, and yeah, maybe I try it tomorrow.
It's that bad. Why don't you try it?
Thank you, Vega.
I'm worried to crash into you because all the planes are just freezing for 2 to 3 seconds, and then they suddenly move to another place, so I can't really see where the other planes are, and that's too dangerous.
Do Cafe Cream then. It was a decent task. You should do Cafe Cream.
No.
You mean Tchin Tchin?
Right, Tchin Tchin.
Yeah, I will try this one. So wish you all a nice flight and see you tomorrow.
Oh, cheers. Sorry.
See you, Vega.
Bye, Gregor.
User disconnected from your channel.
Is Cafe Cream every day, or is it like only Fridays at this time?
Every day.
They about at least half the time they choose some very obscure landscapes.
Interesting. They weren't even on my radar. I never really knew about them.
But I do like the task setting on these flights.
Do they target like a 1 hour finish, give or take?
Not as much as Tchin Tchin, but I think the task setting is more thought through.
And are they always Aerotow? I'm asking just for time purposes because it starts at 11:30 a.m. for me, Tchin Tchin, and this. It's like it bites into my afternoon if it goes too long.
Yeah, I can't really tell because often we fly Tchin Tchin instead.
In the last week, we've flown here twice, and it's been Aerotow.
Yeah.
Okay, I like Aerotow, but I mean it adds 20 or 30 minutes really, and especially if there's a huge crowd.
Well, for me, also, it's like if you have a really long tow time, which was the last task did, it was a really long tow and a long time up to start height. I was one of the last peoples in line, and by the time I got up to, I was ready to start, everybody was gone.
Yeah, and like today, since there's still 10 people waiting to get towed, and the stop join's almost over, the race-in won't even start for a while.
But it looks like everybody is towed shortly after stop join.
I don't know, I think there's 10 people still in line with a minute 30. There's no way 10 people are getting out in 90 seconds.
No, but in 5 minutes maybe.
Looks like all my pastons have gone away. Were there any turn points with a, I don't think there was, that had an altitude setting, did they? I think they were all just straight turn points, right?
Yeah, straight. No, only the finish is 400.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, I can get the start and the finish off the LX, but the intermediate stuff I wouldn't get.
And remember, with the EB, it takes 30 seconds to wipe your wings.
A minute and 30 or 30?
30.
Okay.
Hi, Conrad. Thank you. Good luck to all from Conrad.
Thanks, comrade.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Can somebody tell JF7 he's got his gear down? In the stemmer, I think that's quite a penalty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, yeah.
No, he's still got it down.
Well, a Rotan.
Yeah, I saw that, Tim. Thank you.
I'm not sure it affects the performance, only the noise.
I think we determined that it did. For a while, people were saying it didn't, but then I think there was a correction in our TeamSpeak here at one point when Week was around.
Okay.
It's my memory.
Out of curiosity, what is the hit?
Don't know. That's my memory. I don't know if anybody else is picking up on that or not.
It should decrease performance if, for example, if the bug wipers are stuck on the wing. This is terrible.
Yeah, that one is a real hit. It seems like leaving your bug wipers out, or like going too fast and having them stuck out, flying with your gear down, and having your spoilers cracked is just something that everybody has to do at least once. It's like a rite of passage.
I did it more than once.
Yeah, as soon as I said once, I was like, I think I've done each of those multiple times.
I don't think I've ever flown with the gear down.
I have. There was one time, I forget what flight it was, but I'm like, I had also been playing with my audio settings. And I just thought that whatever I had done turned up all the cockpit sounds or something. I was like, the flight is just really noisy today. And it wasn't until about halfway through that someone mentioned my gear was down. Oh yeah, that was noticeable.
But the worst is if your spoilers are cracked open.
Yep, yeah.
I've done that a lot.
Because it's so subtle. You're like, God, I just can't seem to fly today. Everyone's running away from me. I did that.
Go ahead.
No, one of the pots on my old throttle quadrant went subtly bad, and the spoilers just kept being left open a little bit because I could never fully close them. And it was just happening to me a lot. Very annoying.
I took it off the quadrant. I just had too many problems. But I was going to say the real pilots, I guess, you don't put your wheel up right away. It's a safety thing. And so I think they're more prone to leaving it out because they leave it out after a while on tow. Where if you're in the habit of popping it in right at takeoff, then not as often.
Everybody needs their checklists, though. The pre-flight checklist, the off-tow checklist, and the pre-landing checklist.
That looks like Nico's on his way, or setting up to go.
Man, I'm going to be lost today without my maps pasted in here. I don't know where they all went.
I don't do too many flights over in this section of the map, so this will be nice.
Yeah, the area is really nice. Lots of nice ridges.
So, Stefan, are you a real pilot?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Anybody else here?
Yes,
Just about everybody has at one time or another.
Yeah,
Except
I'm
for
one of
me.
the few Condor. Yeah, same here. One of the few Condor only. You're one of the others. There's just a handful of us, but most people on Condor do fly in real life.
Yeah. Real pilots are my heroes.
I had my introductory lesson once a decade ago, so I like to think of myself as in training, just with really, really, really long gaps between flights.
I also paused now for, I think it's also now nearing 10 years or so because of kids and family. But yeah, eventually start again some years when the kids are grown up.
It's funny, even on days when real-time scoring is disabled, I still bring up the tab menu all the time. I can't help myself.
I'm also addicted to it.
Oh, I'm having trouble finding a lift.
I'm on the very upwind side of the cloud that you just flew under.
I got something here.
I have 4 meters per second where I'm at.
Wow.
Anybody already gone?
Yes. Not gone, I'm started.
Yeah, started on its way. Yeah, finger start too.
Was a 200 start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
We need a little extra altitude to get started here.
right after the start on the ridges, 4.5.
It feels to me like ridges are working better even in the presence of thermals now. Am I just imagining that, or did they maybe fix something about it in the patch?
Well, it is, I don't know if it probably shouldn't matter, but it is still Slovenia, not AA.
Well, maybe that matters. I was trying. No, actually, even in Slovenia, the ridges weren't working for me previously. But like here, I'm kind of out in front of the ridge, and it's netto positive, and that's a nice change from the past.
It is quite windy today.
It doesn't always seem consistent to me. It seems like it can be different on AA, different days. Stefan, you're Victor Yankee, right?
Yep,
Okay,
that's correct.
right
And
at your
you?
4 o'clock right now. LIG.
Ah, okay. I actually thought the bigger ridge is working better, but you had a better route, I think.
Flying into the sink to get to that big ridge earlier was a mistake for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was quite high, the sink.
I F1 cut early. I stayed on the ridge, and when we met up again, I was higher, so, about 100, 200 higher.
Yeah, it was a good decision.
Yeah, here's some lift. A little while, anyway.
Yeah, here too. Like a circle.
It's gone now.
Ah, no. I go also. Just 2 meters. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Don't forget the bug wipe.
Thanks. Takes a while.
I think somebody said 2 turns.
Yep, I plan 2 full turns, which means I have to do it earlier than I think at the top of a thermal.
I did it too late. I'm circling in low lift right now. Some 5 netto just a little down the way.
Let's check that ridge a bit further to the east.
Just on the ridge, there was a 5 netto I went through. Probably should have circled in it. How's that one, Mark?
It's worth stopping in for sure. It's drifting farther to the lee side, but it was still a good climb. And you're going to hit a lot of sink as you leave it on the lee side here, so.
Thank you. A lot of sink getting to it.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad when I got there, but it was drifting back to the lee side, so I figured it would be worse.
That's smart.
Thank you.
That's right.
Tracking Tim down that entire first leg. Had him in my sights the whole time.
So F1 cut early. He didn't go all the way down that ridge. He cut to the north early, and now he's in front of me by 4 kilometers.
Oh, I was wondering about that. We were pretty far deviated out there. I wasn't sure if it was worth cutting over or not.
He's my altitude, 4 kilometers in front. Wow. I was a little higher than him when I left him.
I've done that same ridge and the same wind before, and it never works out for me the way he did it.
I'll give it a try. The mountains on the south side, they are really high and the cloud base is too low for them. They're sitting right on the top, I think.
Anybody see Nico up there?
I see 10 kilometers in front of us, in front of me. I'm about 40 kilometers from the second turn point.
Uh-oh. I'm in a thermal with CTX.
Good luck.
Yeah. I got to fly him and not the thermal, unfortunately.
How much is the thermal?
It's over 5 netto. I'm climbing at about, well, it says 5 average so far. The Hawk average is at 3.4.
Okay, thanks.
3.8, 3.9 on the Hawk. 4 on the Hawk. 4.1, so it's
Yeah.
going up.
I left that one averaging 4.2.
Somebody's
Thing.
going the opposite way. Dude. 16. Or the 15. Morons. Oh my God. 16. What is with him? Everybody is going to the left. Finally.
Might not have to circle anymore on this flight.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, the bug wiping is going to be a problem.
I'm still pulling up, so if I get a long enough streak, I guess getting a bug wipe in while flying straight in these is kind of hard.
Yeah.
It has to be a really good long pull up.
Bug wipe is a real commitment in an EB. Making a time commitment. You know, Mark, you say there's, maybe we don't have to circle anymore, but I'm noticing there's a really big DDH to the end. Still. Be interesting.
Really? No way. What MC?
Oh, you know what? I missed it. I got a turn point the computer missed. Just a minute. Hopefully, you know, uh-oh. There's no way for me to know.
You should see in the chat. But by the way, the LX didn't switch for me either.
Yeah, thanks.
I had to manually switch to the second one.
I just stopped and took a couple of turns to clean my wings. Probably regret it, but...
Right behind you and at the same time, I went straight but slow to clean my wings.
It just takes so long in the EB for the bug wipers.
Yep, I saw someone ahead of me. Was it Holder? Someone was pulling up. I figured, okay, I'm going to be pulling up anyhow, so I started slowing down. Got on it, and it's still, I still had to fly in a little bit of sync before they were done retracting. And Tim passed me right under me while I was doing it.
Yeah, I got the turn point, thank God. I checked under the comments, like you said, thanks.
Yeah, like I have a pretty strong final established, although I don't know about terrain.
I'm minus 234 at 2.7. Well, I'm at ridgetop. I'm thinking I'm going to have to circle a little.
There was no minimum height in the final.
For the second turn point,
No, arrival height there was no minimum.
400 plus.
400, okay, thank you.
Congrats, Tim.
Thank you.
Yes,
Nice, Tim.
Congrats.
This is a silly thought, but every time I go past Tim, I think, oh man, don't do anything stupid or everyone's going to see it on the stream.
Yeah.
Everything's on the record, man. F1 just missed the turn point.
Too low.
Did he just cut it too hard?
He cut it too hard, and I was blindly following him a little bit, trying to determine. I knew he was going the wrong way. I ended up going wide and had to do a circle.
I've done that many times. Those sector turn points really encourage you to clip the corner.
I don't think there's any way he went through it, unless there's some kind of a, I don't know what, but it cost me doing that. That was really too bad.
Well, did he circle around or did he keep going?
No, he kept going. I kept thinking the mountain was blocking the turn point. That's why I was hedging, and in the end, I hedged too late. I had to go back. Just zoomed out a little on the LX. Darn it, that cost me.
High gliding in RV? Yeah, looks fine.
The EV is a 280, isn't it, D&E?
270.
Okay. I'm sorry, yeah.
There's a lovely cloud street pointing right at the finish that's right of the center line. Oh, and there's Nico. I finally see him up ahead.
F1 was not even close to that turn point, not even close.
Without real-time scoring, you don't know if he hit it or not.
I don't know, if it shows him finishing, I'm not going to understand.
Look at that cloud shrinking.
Oh yeah, the closest one on this street. It's just disappearing right away. That old trick. And it's gone. Yeah, wow.
Lykke, Morten.
Tak, tak. Nice switcher.
God, this water takes forever and a day to drain.
Yeah, I started dumping like a mile early because I figured I was VNE either way.
Yeah, it's not really going to affect your speed, is
Congrats,
it?
Mark.
That's smart.
Thanks, Tim, and congrats to you.
Congrats.
Oh, you got me again, you bugger. That's for Mark.
That's fine. You got me once by 4 seconds. I'm still reeling from that, so.
Mark never forgets.
I never forget the ones where I lose by a second or two. I got someone on US Soaring by a single second last night. I hope he's better adjusted mentally than I am, because that would just kill me. I never saw AE the whole time. He put down a good time.
Well, I saw him, and suddenly on the on the westerly, the second leg, suddenly he was just 15 kilometers in front of me. I think he went into the high mountains. I think that was probably an advantage.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that track afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just ground, right? The finish?
400.
400?
400.
Holy crap. Oh, that's right. I don't have my maps.
I think the ground in this section of the map looks so much better in Slovenia than it does on A3. Like the buildings and the details of all that. They look wonderful.
Well, they've put a lot of effort into that. That's not the case with AA2.
Yeah, AA3, like around here, it's all just the Google Maps imagery. Here they've got smokestacks that are casting shadows and everything. It's nice.
Yeah, it's a 3D build. But it's only around the airports.
Does anybody know if or when they're going to have an AA4?
With the Condor 4?
Oh, they just do one per Condor version. They don't update in between.
I think he'll update it. But it might just be a version 3 point something.
Really well done, Mark and Rich. Wow, very well done.
Well, I just followed Rich the whole way, trying to close on him. I had
Now
Tim and Rich out ahead of me, and I just did whichever one of them was doing better. I did what they were doing the whole race.
You're obviously following Tim then.
Now Rich is saying, I wish he wouldn't have made the circle. Right, Rich?
Yeah. I was just thinking that 2 turns to clean my wings, it's probably cost me 3rd place or 2nd place.
That's true. We were together in the same thermal before that.
Yeah, it just seemed like a good idea to clean my wings. It's not the brightest move I've made, I guess, but I've done worse.
You could bring that into Show Condor IGC and actually compare. I might do that. I'm really curious.
Well, it's about 20 seconds, isn't it, a turn? So there's at least 40 seconds gone there in 2 turns.
Yeah, but you're climbing at the same time, so it's not like it's 40 seconds wasted.
Yeah, but with that high terrain, you couldn't really afford to push much harder than you were pushing anyway.
Yeah, that's true. The real question of how early can you get on VNE for your final? That's the real question.
Yeah, I had everything fully forward on after the last turn point.
Same, come to think of it. So yeah, so the deciding factor would have been before that turn point.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at our difference in our time, so I bet it's them 2 turns is pretty much the difference between us. Well, not much in it.
Yeah, I think I want to see what AE did, and I want to see how much that mattered. So I think I'll probably end up pulling all 3 tracks into Condor IGC. I don't usually analyze stuff after the fact these days, but this one I think there's probably some learning in there.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot faster, was it? The top 3 are pretty close.
Yeah, but that's where it matters the most, because the little things really stand out there.
Yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure them 2 turns to clean my wings cost me 2nd place.
Yeah, it's a 30-second gap between 1 and 2, and another 30 seconds between 2 and 3. Interesting.
Thank you for a nice flight, and hopefully have a nice evening, and maybe see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye,
See ya,
Morten.
Morten.
Have a nice day or evening.
Thank you, Tim.
User disconnected
Bye,
from your
Morten.
channel.
I wonder if AE went more direct to turn point 1.
Yeah, I wonder if going into the high mountains early would have worked there. I'm really curious to see. I hope he uploads his track.
I think he usually does.
Where do you take a look at the flights?
At Condor Club.
Okay, so those Okay, these recreational flights here, they are also there.
Do you upload your track to Condor Club, Stefan?
Yeah, only on the World Cups and on the
Well, on
Marburg
this one,
Opens.
if you upload it, you'll see somewhere you can click a link about halfway down on the right, and you can see what everybody else did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a really nice interface where you can just like select a couple of checkboxes and say refly the race or something, and it'll show all the planes right next to each other. You can scroll along. It's really quite instructive.
To zoom outside, it's right mouse button and drag.
Yeah, I've used this viewer to analyze the flights, but I didn't know that there's also uploads for those daily flights.
There's a couple of websites where if you get the flight tracks, if you get the IGC files, you can then compare them and get really detailed analysis of like, you know, each person's speed on each leg and where they gained and lost. You can get really into the analysis if you look around.
Yeah, I will have a look at that. Thank you.
All right, I'm logging off. Thanks for the flight, gentlemen, as always, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
See you, Mark.
Bye-bye. Have fun.
Bye, Mark.
Congrats, mate.
User disconnected from your channel.
I don't know how Myers made that turn point. I'm really disturbed by that because, I mean, on my map, he was nowhere near it, and 16 went through where I went through, which was right at the pole. I'm just really, really don't understand that. I'm going to have, I don't know, maybe there's just some kind of a packet loss thing going on.
Yeah, because they were sectors, weren't they, rather than circles? They were like quadrants.
Right. He wasn't even close. I mean, not even close. So I'm really confused about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't upload very often, so probably no chance to have a look at his flight track.
All right. Well, he made it, so.
Yeah, it's credited him with the full task, so he must have turned it. Like you say, it could be lag.
Got that thing where I can't exit because the window went away before I could get a mouse on it. Now, you know, nothing responds. I hate that. I have to wait. Eventually it'll come around, I think.
Yeah, I'll say bye as well. Everybody have a nice day and evening. See you guys tomorrow.
Okay, man.
See you, Tim. Take care, mate.
See ya. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah, I'll
believe
catch you tomorrow, my friends. You take care now.
All right, Bruce. Have a good day, mate. See you tomorrow.
User disconnected from your channel.